So, new plan for today. Because I have a slight bit of service, I managed to check my emails, and turns out that the fire that I took a video of, the notice saying just be aware there is an active wildfire in the area, apparently has grown in size, and so now this section of the CDT that I'm currently on is closed as of today. First, let me back up because a bit happened before that. Previously, I had gotten into Anaconda and updated you on my trench foot. The following day, I headed back out after resupplying and going to the pharmacy. Montana. Big sky, big flag state. A very helpful PSA. Just road walking out of Anaconda like I'm back in New Mexico. Basically, what that means is that it's time for this Aussie to get to Canada before it truly becomes cold. Good morning. Today is town day again. The section between, where was I last? Can't even remember. Anaconda. Section between Anaconda and Helena. It's turned out to be shorter than I thought. Well, not shorter, but just moved through it quicker. There hasn't been any real climbs which slow me down, which is good because it's just mostly been through forest, so nothing really to take video of, so that hasn't slowed me down either. Just stop all the time and set up my tripod and take video. So I should get into, I've got about just over 20 miles to the highway, so I should get into Helena later this afternoon. And that'll be interesting because it's a weekday and there's a closure on the CDT, which means they've rerouted it. But one of the reroutes also has work on it. So there's some notes in far out saying a way to work around the reroute and then join back up with that and get out to the highway. So I'm sure that made no sense at all to you. But basically it means a bit of find your own way out to the highway. So hopefully that will work. And then I'm excited because Helena is a reasonably big town. It's the capital of Montana. And they have a cinema. And I think they're still showing Twisters. For some reason, I've been wanting to see Twisters all summer, but I've just never been able to make it work when I've been in towns that have had cinemas. So I might actually get to do it this time, which will be exciting. I'm not sure how it'll live up to the 1996 extravaganza that Twister was, but I'm still excited anyway. Good afternoon. Just got dropped back to trail after being in Helena. Had a lovely almost 24 hours off, which was fantastic. Got to see Twisters in the cinema, so summer goal achieved, kinda. The big summer goal is reaching Canada, but small summer goal achieved. And it's now 5 p.m. Probably will only make it about 6 miles, and then we'll have to set up camp for the night. But that should be okay. Next stop is Lincoln. I'm not sure where to go. If only there was a giant CDT sign to help me out. That would be super helpful. Oh, what's that? A CDT sign? Bigger than my head? Thank the Lord for that. Otherwise I wouldn't have known where to go. This could be fun. This was updated 2 days ago. I've heard nothing else since. The area is not closed and CDT hasn't put through any updates or closures about it, but still, not fun to be walking close to a wildfire. Trying not to make a Blair Witch movie here. I just got to camp fairly late, and so was setting up right on dark, and it's because I didn't leave town till late, stopped and had dinner, and then kept walking to find a camp spot and couldn't find an appropriate one. So here we are, but I don't know if you can hear in the distance. So I'm up on a bit of a hill and can see back down in the valley Helena, but there's a train line somewhere close-ish by, and even if it's not close, the sound is carrying because it's open. So this could be fun tonight. I'm possibly gonna get no sleep as trains continue to go by, even though it's down in the valley all night, and apparently need to blow their horns, toot their horns, let people know that they're coming through. So we'll see how tonight goes. So hopefully not Blair Witch because of scary things, just because of trains. Sun this morning. So I slept okay last night, mostly because I was up on a bit of a ridge and could see Helena down below, which meant that I had a bar or two of service, which was enough to download a white noise track. So I pretty much put that on a repeat for the first half of the night, which managed to drown out the train sound in the background, because it did go through, or different trains kept going through most of the evening. So that worked till early this morning when a train slash some critter, I'm going for critter, I don't think it was a big animal, was in the grass rustling around my tent. So that was loud and annoying, but managed to get a tiny bit of sleep after that. But overall not too bad. And as you can tell by the sun this morning at camp, I think I am in for a hot day. It's meant to, at least down on the plains where the towns are, be in the 80s, so up around 30 degrees Celsius for most of the week. Thank you so much, CDT, for putting this gap in, because otherwise I'm not sure how I would have got around this fence. This one too. It's a real tricky one. Phew, made it through. New plan for today. Because I have a slight bit of service, I've managed to check my emails, and turns out that the fire that I took a video of, the notice saying just be aware there is an active wildfire in the area, apparently has grown in size And so now this section of the CDT that I'm currently on is closed as of today. So I figure I am close enough to the road that I am going to backtrack. I am not going to continue through. So I think my new plan is that I'm going to get back out to the highway in a couple of hours, and I'm going to try and hitch up to Lincoln, which is was going to be my next town. And then I'm going to work out what to do from Lincoln. Once again, I am back at Highway 12. Got about 3 k's, so 1.5 miles to walk into the little town of Elliston. And from there, traffic should be a bit slower. And I'm going to try to hitch to Lincoln. So current plan, made it into Elliston, road walked out and made it here. Was going to hitch to Lincoln, but because it's the Labor Day long weekend, everything in Lincoln's booked. So I was like, I'm just going to stay in Elliston where there's this really cute little hotel, really old school, for the night, and then I'll hitch to Lincoln tomorrow and work out what to do from there. But let me show you what this little hotel room has. It has a VCR player. Hello. And check out all of these VHSs. What to watch? So many choices of 90s goodness. Got my evening set. I had a lovely night at the Last Chance Motel back there, and as you can see, it is very smoky in town today. But yeah, just gonna walk up the road a little bit and see if I have any luck hitching. I think I'm gonna need 3 hitches to get up to Lincoln today. Got my first hitch, a guy in front of the bar over there, or as we'd say back home at the pub, has offered to give me a lift up to the first junction, which is great. And then I should have 2 more hitches to go. So first hitch got me here to the small town of Avon. Now I've got to try and hitch about 30 miles to the next intersection, which will then hopefully take me to Lincoln. So this is turning out to be one of my longer hitches. Lots of tourists who think hitchhikers are scary. Can't even get them to wave. I usually do my thumb wave. And then still not stopping for that. Made it up to the next highway. Now for a hitch into Lincoln. Made it up to Lincoln. Just heading to the grocery store to grab some stuff that I've eaten over the last few days. Tomorrow morning when the post office opens, I'll grab my package and then head out for my next stretch, which will be to Augusta. And then it's only the Bob Marshall Wilderness and Glacier left before I hit Canada, which is super exciting, super sad, but yet I am ready to not walk as much as I currently do. Was just at the post office back there, picked up my package. Now walking down to the gas station, gonna grab a few more snacks and then hopefully attempt to hitch out and get back on trail after the fire closure. I managed to hitch out of Lincoln, second car that went by, which was amazing. That was a great hitch. So they're the sort of people, 2 old guys, who if you looked at them, you would be like, I am not getting in a car with you because you look crazy. Driver missing an eye. Guy in the passenger seat missing half of his teeth. Just look like crazy old men. But they were absolutely lovely. Brought me up to the pass, even though they were heading to a different pass, which was really lovely of them. Then once we got to the pass, he's like, let me take a photo of you in front of the sign. So he took a photo of me at the pass sign, and then they drove off. But now it's 10 o'clock, and if I want to get to hopefully where I would like to camp tonight, in about 20 miles, I've got about 6,000 feet of elevation gain. So I don't know if that's possible. It is a lot of up today. So we'll see where I get to at the end of today. But it's good to be back on trail. And hopefully now, no disruptions to Canada. I was so excited as I started to climb and popped out of tree line and could see ridges for days. After the last few sections had mostly had me in forests and in burn sections and blowdowns, it was so wonderful to see the mountains again. The beginning of September and the leaves are starting to turn. It's like overnight they got the memo and they were like, well, we got to change colour now. It's crazy. A few days ago, green as could be, and now starting to get yellows and oranges and reds. Just more evidence that this Aussie needs to get to Canada before the weather truly does change. Finally getting back into real mountains. You can tell we're getting close to the Canadian Rockies. I am currently walking a valley. Got about 8 miles to walk into a trailhead, and where there's like, it's not a resort, that makes it sound like it's on the beach, like a ranch at Benchmark, but there's not much else there. And so I'm going to try and hitch into Augusta from there, which people say is hit or miss. So some people have reported getting a hitch into Augusta super easy. Other people have said that they were clean shaven when they arrived, and by the time they got a hitch, they had a beard down to their knees. So I'm going for super easy, or at the very least, just a bit of stubble. That'd be nice. Yeah. Look at all of these cars at the trailhead. Now I just need one of them to come back and to give me a hitch out and not be camping overnight. Just 30 miles to Augusta. Does this look like the sort of road that gets a lot of traffic on it? Made it down to the ranch. It is 10:30ish, maybe nearly 11. So I've made it to the point on the road where most of the traffic should pass by here, if there is going to be any. But I've road walked for just over half an hour and seen no traffic. So now I'm going to sit by the side of the road and see what happens. It is 11 a.m. I've been sitting here on the side of the road for half an hour now with 0 cars going by, but I have had a helicopter do several flybys. There's an airport just up there, or an airstrip I should say. I figure it's doing some sort of training, or it's very concerned about me. It is midday, still sitting by the side of the road. Had 2 cars go past. Unfortunately, they were both Forest Service workers, so don't think they were going into town, just doing some work around here. Even if they were going into town, I'm not sure they're actually allowed to pick up hitchhikers. So still sitting here. Made it into Augusta. The Forest Service worker took pity on me, turned around and came back because they were like, "You're never going to get a hitch out of here," and brought me the 30 miles into Augusta, which was amazing.